My name is Sir Basil Maduka. Sir Basil Maduka is from Apodi, Ezinhite local government, Mbise, Owerri zone, from Imo State. I'm one of the chieftains of Labour Party. As we speak, as at last year, Basil Maduka, till date, is the major financier of Labour Party. Last year, during the time we were doing primaries or before the primaries, I was able to give 15 House of Assembly members tickets, 3 Federal House members, to make sure that the party have background in Imo, because Imo is predominantly PDP. Because as at that time I ran for Senate in PDP, Owerri East, I was the major contender. As a result of that, it was the zone of Owerri to produce the next governor. My people beckoned on me that he should leave that Senate and be the flag bearer, preferably Labour Party. That is the party for now, as at last year. Delegations, they were coming in and out, calls from diasporas. In fact, even the church. I'm a knight of St. Christopher, a knight in Anglican Christopher. They were there on me that I should come and run for the governorship, because some people were given opportunity from Owerri zone. He said they are tired of professional politicians. They need a technocrat. Basil Maduka, you are saying, is a technocrat. I have about almost 32, 33 years in multinationals, oil and gas. As we speak today, by the grace of God, I'm a major player in oil and gas, and also production. Having office in UAE, US, Lagos, and Port Harcourt, where by the grace of God, I have hundreds of people in my payroll. It was on that quest. My people have seen what I have done, because every year I will send people abroad for scholarship. As at last 2022, I sent people, 3 people. 1 to Canada to do masters and PhD, 2 in London to go and do special courses, masters, PhD. They are not my siblings, neither they are related to me. I've been doing this to make sure that we have a place giving the youth exposure. So it was on that. My people have been on me. This is your time to go and run for governorship. By the grace of God, as a major financier, setting up the party, as I said, 15 House of Assembly members, and make sure I funded them, funded their elections, supporting the party, make sure that the party, had a takeoff. After presidential election, during the time of our election, there's a slogan in Labour Party, they give shishi. It was there, they give shishi. And it was when Nigerians wanted to get it right. They came. Basil, you are seeing here, was the major financier of that presidential election in Imo State. As at that time, the state ESCO, it it was us that did the press conference that challenged the incumbent governor, telling them how the state should be. That is where we are. So after that, after the presidential election, you now see a lot of people. I was the first person that bought tickets to contest for governorship election. It was after the governorship, the presidential election. A lot of people from nowhere said they want to run for governorship. Some were funded, some were asked to come and, scatter the party. Some were sent to make sure that there's confusion in the party. Although the national tried in their own way, there was only a place that was a mistake. When we stopped selling forms, a lot of pressure came in. They came up and said more forms. That was where we got it right. There was confusion in Imo primaries. There was ESCO in Imo State. Because of the situation and what happened in the presidential election, the party by East Wisdom, led by Barrister Bure, dissolved the state ESCO because of the confusion that came on board during the presidential election, where they saw that the existing ESCO then have overstayed their tenure about 3 years. So they needed to conduct the primaries. So the leadership of Abure dissolved the current, as at that time, ESCO, set up another interim state working committee led by FBI, popularly known FBI. So the last ESCO did handover of the party. They took off. About 2 weeks after that, there was court injunction. Court injunction, the party office was sealed. Behold, we were told that some 4 horses came from government house, came and sealed up the party. With court injunction, state they should status quo should remain. There's already ESCO sworn in already. Their names is in INEC or whatever. That was part of the genesis of the problem. So the people who already sworn in as the current ESCO, they were there. It was on that note there was a court injunction from where? The same people that handed over to the current people. I said, status quo remains. Is the people who have already handed over to the people. Their names is already in INEC, in DSS, or whatever. It was them that conducted, who have seen themselves as authentic structure, led by Abure. It was Abure who signed the appointment letter for them. They were there. So because of that court injunction, the party by East Wisdom, by Abure, called stakeholders because they were saying that someone hijacked the party, someone had a majority in the party. They called them in Abuja. What's the way forward? They said they have to inject people because they're already there. There was court injunction already. So along the line, the party by East Wisdom set up a committee to come and, handle the primary election. Already, by law, when a matter is in court, yet to be vacated, the people now said you already have 3 months their mandate was to revalidate the party's register, conduct primaries, and do Congress within that 3 months. So these people that already existed went further, since they have backup by law and also have 3 months. They just did, I think, only 1 month, remaining 2 months. So based on the law, they say they have to finish their tenure. Then the party from Barrister Bure set up that committee. It was where there was a little confusion. So the state now said they have to now do their own primaries because their tenure has not expired. The committee sent by Barrister Bure also were there. That was how we had 2 parallel primaries. These people who are already existing had to now produce me as authentic candidate because the matter is still in court. The committee set by Abure, produce another candidate. That were just the 2. So that because let the court interpret who is the authentic whatever. So it was much later we begin to hear, say there is someone called Lamid Apapa. That was confusion. It was on the social media. We heard that there was Lamid. That was Apapa. So it was in the process of court. We now heard that there was another person who claimed that he did primaries. We now asked him, how come? On which structure? How did you come with the straight structure? Who did your primaries? That's how we started hearing about Apapa and Lamid. So, okay, since the matter is in court, let the court in their wisdom interpret these people. It's a state working committee set up by Abure. This other one, there's a committee also set up by him to supervise it as a result of that court injunction. Because party is always supreme. Every party, any primaries of that nature, the national must come, you understand, and supervise it. It was in this process we now heard there was somebody else who came and did his own party on Sunday, being 16th, which all we know that INEC does not work on Sunday. So that was how we heard about Apapa, Lamidi, that kind of, it was on social media.
Okay, but there was an addendum to that question that the morning.
Yes,
I think it's answered already.
You see?
There is what I'm interested in is that are you aware that INEC already have it?
That I'm not known in the party. Nobody can say that anymore. When some people want to be relevant through social media or wherever, somebody who formed a party, financed a party, till after presidential election. Now somebody now telling you that you are not done in the party. That's to tell you that something is happening somewhere. And as a result of that 2 primaries, because there was matter in courts, these people now, this group, AVI group, produce me as their candidates. The one by the committee also had a candidate led by Senator Achonu and myself. That's the 2 known candidates. This one was committee. This one was the people already in court, where they were asked to the party to remain status quo. So we had to go to court so that let the court interpret who is the legitimate, authentic candidate. So at least the party will always take its course. That's why we took it up to Supreme Court. At the end of the day, Supreme Court, in his wisdom, decided that this is the candidate. So you can't challenge the law, and when matter has gone to Supreme Court,
You have to accept it.
yes, you have to accept it because that's the law. And today, our party will make sure that our party wins. Because I've invested a lot. I'm the highest investor. I'm the highest investor. So, my party in Imo have to win. Anybody that is telling you that if this man is still in the party, is he from Imo State? Nobody from Imo can tell you that Basil Maduka is not known. Mind you again, look, let me show you the structure I set up in Imo as regards Labour Party. I set up, and also the major financier of what we call the Big Tent. Big Tent has structure in 305 wards, funded by me. Funded by me. Obidate movement. There are so many support groups. As at today, 55 support groups, Obi, that I merged them together. I funded them. Each of them has structure in 305 wards. There is Basil Maduka movement. There is Restoration Agenda. All these people has structures in 305 wards. So you can imagine who owns the party in Imo. Before some people came in, after presidential election, I have set up this. So you that say you want to win or own run an election, you said so person don't know. These are all my babies. So as we speak, it is Sir Basil Maduka, as we speak today, that will determine the pendulum. Out of 305 wards, Big Tents, I learned that some people are claiming that they are coordinator of Big Tent, ceding one part to the opposition party, collecting some funds. Some will go and say, they are part of this. They are chieftain of Big Tent. But there's a grandfather who funded it, that put all of them there. So invariably, if you check, all my movements, all the 58 support groups brought together, being funded by someone, and this, you can imagine the crowd. You find out that, yes, Supreme Court has taken its decision. It is this crowd which will determine who wins the governorship of Imo State, as we speak today.
All right, sir. I think we'll take like
What I just ended. And I addressed all my supporters on Saturday. I called all the unit heads, the 55 support groups, Basil Maduka's movement, the state ESCO, all their heads. I addressed them on Saturday. That was my first outing. Because we still have, election is still 3 weeks ahead, far away from now. Again, as we said, our principal, Mr. Pitobi, our presidential aspirant, I followed him during his campaign. I was there with him. I followed him. And in his own wisdom, he has said that when the matter was in court, he now said, anyhow the party goes, he's going to support whoever. But as at that time, Senator Achonu's name was in INEC, not yet removed. So he came and flagged up the campaign. Because a party must produce a candidate. Since the law, Supreme Court has ended it, and we have a candidate. Definitely, our candidate will fly.
Will you support the candidate?
Yes, at least as at Friday and Saturday we had our meetings. When I called everybody that Supreme Court is over, and I have to tell them this is the way everything plays out. That everybody should remain steadfast, and our party is the party to beat in Imo. That I'm going to call you again, you understand, to give all of you direction. I will now ask our candidate how far you're doing. Are you there? What support? Is it financial support or the entire crowd? Because our party must win. Our party in Imo must win. Because I've invested a lot. Where will I go? Which other party? Our party, Labour Party, must win.
Okay, all right.
I think I had the major followers. Because when I left PDP, I collapsed almost 60% of PDP to Labour Party. They are trying to hear from me. I've shown you the number of followers I have. The party doesn't have any match again. We are no more in court. The party is no more in court. So we have a candidate today, Senator Athan Achonu. That's a candidate.
Are you not threatened by the ruling party there, the leadership of Uzodimma? They had a massive campaign just last week. What's the chances of your...
You see, Imo State, to be precise, is not a PC state. During the presidential election, I was on ground before these people. If you check, if Imo had 20%, it was out of by, just do a pronunciation. Imo is Labour Party. And they know the person they followed, Sir Basil Maduka. Gentlemen, all the entire structures, this party must win. That's all. That's the only thing they need from me. The first action I had was that Saturday, telling them how everything, the court matter is over, everybody should be at peace, there is no fight again. So I'm going to get back to all of you. There is no APC. Yes, incumbent is there. You now look at what has incumbent has it done. And moreover, their zone has been in power for over 20 years. Olu zone has been in power for 20 years. Owerri zone and Okigwe zone is being marginalized. Okigwe did only a tenure during the time of Mr. Hakim. That is where Senator Achonu came from. They had only one chance. Owerri zone did only 7 months when our brother, Right Honorable Bemeki Henduan, had only 7 months. So the Imoites today, they are aching for power from Owerri zone or Okigwe. That's the two places. And our candidate, who is from Okigwe, stands a very good, better chance. Nobody's thinking about Olo because they've done power for 24 years, 20 years. So giving the incumbent another opportunity, 24 years, that's the highest cheat.